Good evening. I'd like to call the city council meeting to order. It is Tuesday, September 9th at 7 PM, and we are in the city chambers. I am sitting in tonight for the mayor, Sidney Clark, and we wish him well and hope he's feeling better soon. Roll call, please.
So Mayor Clark is absent with an excuse. Chairman Pro Tem Weil.
Here.
Councilmember Solomonov.
Here.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman.
Here.
Councilmember Lewis.
Here.
Communications, please.
We did receive an email from resident Anna Molina in support of the tree ordinance and its passage.
Great.
Copies have been given to council.
Great, thank you very much. Next item of business is that we have two swearing-ins tonight, and I see their families have come in support. So we're going to begin with Ignatius Nate Perry first, and I'll meet you down front. Before I swear Officer Perry in, I would like to share a little bit about him with all of you. Officer Perry was born in Silver Spring, Maryland, and attended grade school in the National Capital Region, or DMV region, on the East Coast, and graduated high school in 2010. As a child, Officer Perry played sports, which was also allowed him to further his education at a collegiate level and continued playing football at Shenandoah University. At Shenandoah University, Officer Perry obtained a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. A few years after graduating from Shenandoah, Officer Perry applied to become a police officer at a local police department in Winchester, Virginia. At Winchester Police Department, Officer Perry joined specialized units and rose through the ranks, becoming a first-line supervisor before moving to Missouri. Officer Perry and his family took a leap of faith, deciding to move from the East Coast to Missouri on March 18, 2025. Officer Perry joins the Olivet Police Department, eager and ready to keep the community safe, and we're thrilled you're here. So now, if you'll raise your right arm. I, Ignatius Nate Perry, do solemnly swear
Ignatius Perry, do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications to serve as police officer for the city of Olivet,
that I possess all the qualifications to serve as police officer for the city of Olivet, St. Louis County, Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of the state of Missouri,
of the state of Missouri,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Olivet,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Olivet,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duty of this office
by abiding by the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics.
by abiding by the law enforcement code of ethics.
I recognize the badge of my office
I recognize the badge of my office
as a symbol of public faith,
as a symbol of public faith,
and I accept it
and I've accepted
as a public trust to be held and honored.
as a public trust to be held and honored.
Congratulations.
Thank
Is that your little guy? Want to get a picture with them? Congratulations. Nate Corley is being, our officer, patrol officer Nate Corley is being promoted tonight to corporal. And I would like to share his bio as well. Nate Corley is a 6-year veteran of the City of Olivet Police Department with 10 years overall experience in law enforcement. He began his career law enforcement in 2015 with the City of Pevely Police Department. While he is not a resident of Olivet, he has ties to the community where he has family members as well as where he met his wife Jana. Nate has taken on multiple responsibilities within the department. These responsibilities include being one of the department's field training officers, being a member of the mobile response team, which serves the St. Louis County area during times of unrest, and most recently, he became a certified ballistic and shield instructor. Nate is dedicated to serving the City of Olivet with integrity, honor, and professionalism. You have to raise your right arm. I, Nathan Corley, do solemnly swear
I, Nathaniel Corley, do solemnly swear
that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all the qualifications
to serve as corporal of the City of Olivet, St. Louis County, Missouri.
to serve as corporal with the City of Olivet,
St. Louis County.
St. Louis County, Missouri.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Missouri
and the state of Missouri
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the City of Olivet.
of the City of Olivet.
And that I will faithfully discharge
And that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this office
by abiding by the law enforcement code of ethics.
by abiding by the law enforcement code of ethics.
I recognize the badge of my office
I recognize the badge of my office
as a symbol of faith,
as a symbol of faith,
and I accept it as a public trust
and I accept it as a public trust
to be held and honored.
to be held and honored.
Congratulations.
Yes.
We'd like to invite all the officers in to take a group picture with Nate's times 2. Or Nate squared. Okay. Madam Clerk, are we ready for item number 3?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Let's go for it. City manager report.
All right, good evening, everyone. Okay, So, as usual, it is the first council meeting of the month, so we have an update on Olive Crossing. So lot 3, they continue to move forward with the work there. The storefront sidewalks are complete. Paris Baguette's patio is complete. The ADA ramp foundations have been started. The mechanical, electrical, plumbing rough-ins are beginning. They're continuing to do drywall and insulation, and then they hope to be pouring the actual ADA ramps and the brass tap patio this week. So this, I believe, is the picture of Brass Tap on that side of the development. And then as you can see here, they're getting those interior walls up as they divide the larger space into the smaller tenant spaces. Lot 5, we don't really have an update. As I have mentioned in the past, the developer has come to terms with a restaurant. He is waiting for representatives of the restaurant to come and tour the site. I had a quick text back and forth with him today, and essentially the restaurant officials just show up unscheduled. So they expect it to happen this week, but again, it's kind of a surprise inspection, I guess. So we're continuing to, move forward with that as we can. Lot 6 is the hotel. The hotel plans were submitted, and they were submitted prior to the September 1st deadline. They are under review by staff, and the project is expected to be on the October 16th PCDC agenda for their first consideration. So the developer is meeting those deadlines and moving forward with that hotel. I think one item to note is the hotel is 4 stories, which I think is a reduction from what we had talked about, what the city may have talked about in the past. So 4 stories instead of 5. And then again, lots 1 and 2, that's the Aldi, that is complete. And then lot 4 is the Clover, which is also complete. Battle of the Badges was last week. That is the blood drive, and it is a friendly competition between the police department and the fire department. They collected a total of 37 pints, which was more than their goal, which was 28. And the fire department did win again this year, but only by 1 vote. So the police department is gaining on the fire department. I think now that they both have cute pictures of babies and the reasons why we donate, I think it helps to even out sympathy for police and fire. So we certainly appreciate everyone who donated blood. We still have 2 openings on the pension board. We do have 1 applicant. So if anyone else is interested in the pension board, they meet quarterly. And you have an item from the pension board on the agenda this evening. But anyone can scan the QR code, and we would be happy to accept applications. Hopefully we'll get a couple more applications, and then we'll bring them before the council for interviews. You may see folks from TRC Outdoors over by CVS and then working their way up along Price. They are removing the vegetation and the railroad tracks to make way for the next segment of the Centennial Greenway. I know they were out there today. So if you see them, don't worry, they are supposed to be there, and they are doing good work on behalf of Great Rivers Greenway. Coffee with the Mayor is tomorrow morning at 5 Oaks, and Mayor Pro Tem Weil is going to fill in for Mayor Clark, who has an appointment that he needs to be at. So tomorrow morning at 8:30, we will have Lieutenant Garrett Wood with us as Mayor Pro Tem's guest, and he's going to talk about his crisis intervention team and the training that they receive. So we hope everyone can come out and meet Lieutenant Wood and join us for coffee. The police department is also hosting another Understanding Traffic Stops. This has actually become a very popular program, and we invite any new driver who might want to learn about what would happen in a traffic stop. There's a little bit of classroom time, and then there is some actual participant interaction on the parking lot in all stationary vehicles. So it is completely safe, but it is a practice of what to do if you are pulled over. And the fire department in October on the 17th, they are hosting a pumpkin carving event. It is open to everybody. They just ask that you bring your own pumpkin. They'll have some hamburgers and hot dogs and drinks. They'll have some carving tools. They're going to do it in the fire bay, so people can come to City Center, park in the parking lot, and then they will walk you through the building to the fire bay to come and carve pumpkins and have some fun with the fire department. And then it is that time of year to talk about the turkey trot, which is Thanksgiving morning, which is November 27th, 8 a.m. Early bird registration is open. As of today, we had 78, 80 registrants, which is about where we are normally this time of year. So we encourage everybody to come out that morning. And as always, the Turkey Trot is a fundraiser for the Harvey Kornblum Jewish Food Pantry. And then because the food pantry is seeing an increase in families coming to them this year, we are hosting a food drive from now until Thanksgiving. So Blue Barrels, if you've been to the city center, you'll see a Blue Barrel. If you've been to Five Oaks, there's a Blue Barrel. So we would ask folks to bring any non-perishable food items that they can give to the food pantry ahead of the turkey trot. And then again, I just would ask everybody to sign up for the Olivet Weekly. We push forward all kinds of information every week. And then here are your next couple of meeting dates. I would like to note that the next city council meeting is Thursday, September 25th. We will not be meeting September 23rd. That is Rosh Hashanah holiday. So we're meeting September 25th at 4 p.m. via Zoom, and there will only be one item on the agenda, which is the second reading for the tax rates. So we'll have a very focused meeting. And then the October 2nd PCDC meeting has been canceled. It's Yom Kippur. So we have canceled that meeting. And with that, if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Are there any questions from the other council members?
No.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms.
You're-
Yackley.
You're welcome.
Next item, please.
Item number 4, city council reports.
Okay, we'll start with Councilmember Solomonov,
I have no report for today.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
I have nothing to report.
and Councilmember Lewis.
Yes, good evening. PCDC met last Thursday on 9/4. Normal, process to walk through a lot of the activities. One area that just something for the future for the council to consider is we had a large discussion about the comprehensive plan and kind of what it means and priorities for the city. So there was a request that, when you look at the comprehensive plan, it is obviously comprehensive, lots of different policies, lots of, priorities. They were asking which ones would the council maybe favor or make as a priority if PCDC did have to favor a few in the future moving forward as they're evaluating things. So I said it'd take to council and maybe as we have a working session in the coming months, it might be something we revisit just to look at. So
Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is hearing from citizens.
At this time, I have one card and it is for Christina Kay. If you want to come up to the microphone here.
Oh, may I read the card?
And just give it back to me when you're done.
Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm just because I pay real estate.
You gotta turn your mic on.
Just push the gray button.
Yep, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. So
You gotta say your, slow down. You gotta say your name and your
Okay.
address.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Christina Catherine Laney, Snow Hill, Del Webb Estates, Hampton University graduate, 2014, master's degree in architecture. I'm not currently working at a firm. My address, I'm really confused about that. On my driver's license, it's 9710 Fairgreen Drive, 63132. I went to Old Bonham Elementary School, but after 18, I was an adult, so I went to a college campus and then military bases. So my question for you guys is, because I keep getting arrested and I have to appear in court tomorrow or I'll get a failure to appear. The question is, what is the probability that I qualify for generational home ownership in the district if my driver's license dons a local address, if I pay real estate taxes, even though my parents' name's on the receipt, and then let's see if I have parents and assets inside of a residential house locally. But the ordinances, kind of like 2168, are historically and systemically used against myself and my family members. My mom could have dementia or Alzheimer's, but she's saying she does not want the people in this holiday card at her house. So I'm just trying to learn. I think in other church communities, like a family would be supported in owning a house generationally with a quitclaim deed. So I keep getting arrested and I don't like to be a rule breaker, but I do want the asset that's worth over $300,000 per Zillow and Redfin. So I'm really just learning about what the tax dollars do for me as an African-American who lives other places.
As we've explained, hearing from citizens is just that,
Mhm.
and we can hear your concerns and then pass them on to the proper people.
Sure.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I do need the card back. Thank you. This comes- Next item, please.
Item number 6, Bill 3051, an ordinance to amend Chapter 400 regulations, being part of Title 4 Land Use of the Olivet Municipal Code, enacting a new Article 23 entitled Tree Inventory, Protection and Replacement, second reading.
Good evening, Chairman Pro Tem. My name is Carlos Trejo. I'm the Director of Planning and Community Development for the City of Olivet. And I'm here tonight before you requesting action on Bill 3051. The first reading was held, of course, on August 26, 2025. The council also hosted a public hearing in accordance with Section 41910 in there where we properly noticed and conducted the public hearing. There was several comments from the public and also from the council. So before you tonight, you have the bill as drafted and seen before you on August 26th, plus the original Exhibit A that was presented on August 26th, but then any amended version that incorporates the comments from the council regarding clarity on canopy and also on the signage on the fencing surrounding the tree preservation areas in there. Those have been incorporated for your consideration. Again, seeking a motion for action and be glad to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Trejo? Okay, then I'd be happy to hear a motion,
Make a motion?
please.
Motion to approve amended bill 3051, an ordinance to amend chapter 400 zoning regulations being part of Title 4 Land Use of the Olivet Municipal Code, enacting a new Article 23 entitled Tree Inventory Protection and Replacement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call for the vote, please.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil.
Yes.
The motion is passed. Bill 3051 becomes ordinance 2821.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Bill 3052, an ordinance fixing the annual rate of tax levy for 2025 on all property within the city of Olivet, providing for the extension of said taxes on the books of the collector by the county clerk and providing for the collection thereof. First reading and public hearing.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. We have our first reading for our tax rates, and I'll ask that if we could maybe open up for public hearing. I have a short presentation to follow up on what we talked about last week at the work session.
since we're moving public hearings to the first reading, sorry, I forgot to do that. It's a new thing for me. So I'd like to close our formal session and go into a public hearing.
Good. So-
Mr. Mann?
Thank you. We have, again, a short presentation here for the, with some, a little bit different than we talked about last week, but kind of compounds on a little bit. So let's go to that first slide. You can see there's the four rates that we have, or sorry, the four factors. We'll see some expected collections versus our budget, which we didn't see last week. And then, not 10 rate, a 10-year rate, rate and valuation history. Remind everyone that we do have these tax rates that we set tonight is for general fund use, which would be for kind of keeping this building operational, along with police, fire, those regular core services. In addition to that, the pension trust, it funds the employer portion of the pension trust repayment, and then debt service for the general obligation bonds for this building, for the parks improvements from that were issued in 2020, and along with the funding for the construction at Five Oaks. There's also a small portion for the TIF, the pilots, or payments in lieu of taxes that get, the tax rates get applied to those assessments, and then those monies go to pay down those, currently the notes associated with those improvements in the TIF district. So the four factors that we have, let's go to the next slide. The four factors, like we said, are inflation, assessments, new construction, and the tax rates themselves. So inflation, 2.9%. Set by the State Tax Commission back in January. The assessments now right now we have July's is what we're using with some imperfect information, but the Board of Equalization hearings are closing now, and by the time we meet in a couple weeks, we'll have post Board of Equalization figures, and those are the ones we use to set the tax rates. Likely what we would see here is the tax rates ever so slightly increase to match the decrease in the assessments that usually occur at post Board of Equalization meetings. Assessments themselves, residential up 13.2%, commercial up 28.1%, which is fantastic news as we kind of look at our charts over that 10 years. New construction, again, one of the other factors that goes in. On the residential side, 1.84 million. And that's about typically what we've been running in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and about that number. So what does that mean for our tax rates? I will stop just for a second. The tax bill that you pay if you own a home, 15% of that goes to the city of Olivet. The rest goes to other taxing jurisdictions. Most notably would probably be the school districts get about half, and then we get 15. The rest goes to the county, and then like museum district, those kind of things. So when we look at overall, again, 15% stays here. Residential rates are down 4.8% compared to what they were last year at 1.044 per 100 valuation. Again, lots of different ways we kind of see that. 1.044 is what we kind of talk about as tax rates. Other places you'll go, they talk in mils, which this would be 104.4 mils. Another kind of strange way to look at it is this is you pay 1% of your house value in taxes to the city of Olivet. Tax rates on a typical house in Olivet, there's different taxing jurisdictions, but we're right around 7% of your valuation goes to a tax bill every year. So residential down 4.8%. The rates themselves, not the bills, just the rates themselves. Again, we have on average 13% increase in residential valuations with a tax rate decrease of 4.8%. So tax bills are not going down. It's just the tax rates are. Commercial 1.146 per 100, which is down 12.3%, about what you'd expect for some of the factors as the commercial was increased 28.1. And then personal property taxes very rarely change. They have a slightly different sets of rules that go into that. So we haven't seen those change in 10 years or so. So let's go to the next slide. And there's the same sides again. Let's go one more. I think we have a graph coming in. Good, sorry. So this is the timeline we kind of looked at last week, but where are we at? We're at the right red line for setting tax rates in September. The last, back in February through March, and then even into mostly in May and June, we get information in March or we can use last year's information to kind of figure out where we're going to be and make a little prediction on what our rates are going to be and versus this assessments. And so we set our budget, how much money we think we're going to get in back in June with slightly imperfect information that again comes out in July. So we set our budgets. We can see that at the table at the bottom, the revenue per the tax rates on the left, and then the budgets that we set and were approved here in through June. And so then we see our collection percentages needed. And these fall right in line with what we'd expect to collect in any given year. And the county takes a percent for the assessment and for the collection procedures, and then the rest come here. People don't pay their taxes on time all the time. It comes and it goes. And that's just normal part of the process. So this is our budgeted revenue. And again, we're within 5 to 6% of where we would expect to collect. So this is all good news. We expect to meet our budgets. So let's go to the next slide. And we'll look at some history. These are, we looked at 5 years last week. No, when you look at 10, what we see is kind of exactly what you'd expect. Fantastic increases in assessments, which is a blessing into itself as a city. As a taxpayer, maybe not the greatest idea, but you do have an asset, that is growing in value as well. I think I did some quick math during a typical house, or I picked a house over on Alden, and it's increased 62% from this time period. Taxes went down about that same amount, about 32%. So that's the inverse relationship we'd see with assessments going up and then the tax rates going down. The bumps in there you'd see, like we talked about last week, is because of two things. One is the new construction, which is that table up on the top right. And then inflation will also have to deal with this on the, which is the table on the left. Let's go one more forward. This is residential. We're going to see our commercial. And we see a little bit of an anomaly where the tax rates don't go down, even though those assessments, and then you see how much they are jumping, but they're not going down. A couple things happen here. One, our assessment, or the assessment increases did not correspond with increases in inflation. And so you don't get the big bump or the rates will kind of stay the same as the other parts of them go down. So the relationship gets broken ever so slightly. And then you'll see the new construction figures are a little bit strange there too. So notably in 24, again, a fairly large new construction figure. And then the rates kind of went up there, which is anomalous with what you'd expect to see with that blue line increasing. I do have one blue line there right across the middle of this chart, and that is the 2006 peak valuation. And you can see there from 2006 all the way up through sometime in 2023, the city of Olivet's valuations commercially were below where they were in 2006. So this is there's a lot of work that goes into something like that. It shows more of the revitalization, what we're seeing up and down Olive during these same time periods. But there's a lot of work with the council members, and this is how things kind of what they look like over time. It takes a long time to increase something like that. And again, these are blessings. Other communities don't have this increases in valuations. So their tax rates keep going up until they hit the top. There is a ceiling set by the state of how high they can go. So that would pretty much conclude what I have for tonight. More than happy to answer any questions. I think that's it, right? Good. Again, we're still in public hearing, so.
Are there any questions from the council members? Okay. And I don't see anyone online or in the audience, so we'll move on. We'll close the public hearing.
Good.
And I'd be happy to hear a motion. No, that's on the 25th on Zoom. Okay, got ahead of myself. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mann. Item number 8, please.
Item number 8, resolution 2025-263, a resolution approving an amendment to the investment policy statement of the salaried employees pension plan of the city of Olivet.
Good evening. So the pension board is recommending a slight modification to the investment policy, and Mr. Latsky is here with Marquette Associates to provide you a much better explanation than I can provide.
You just have to make sure that the gray button's on.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council. So my name is Tom Latsky, work with Marquette Associates. So we are the investment consultant for the pension plan. So what we're talking about today is the investment policy statement. It's certainly not the most enchanting document you will probably go through. But what we've done with the pension committee is adjust the targets to some of the investments there. So don't know if you have a copy in front of you, but the main changes that we're doing today would kind of, you do not. Exhibit A? Okay, I will talk slower. So I'll give a little background on the document while you get there. So the investment policy statement, it delegates responsibilities. So you are also mentioned in there as the council, the trustees for the pension fund, us as the investment consultant, the investment managers who are doing the actual investing, the custodian as well. Then we have policies tied to the rebalancing. So when stocks go up a lot, we trim that, put it back into fixed income, and we have targets within there. And the targets are set in there with a target as well as a minimum and maximum within there. So when we have these quarterly meetings, obviously sometimes we need to raise funds to pay benefits. So what we'll do is approach the pension committee and say we need to sell XYZ of this particular part of the portfolio, purchase this, and then sometimes raise funds. So page 3 just shows you in red line some of the changes overall. So the main thing that we're doing is historically the fund had 10% allocated to private real estate investments. We're reducing that to 5%. So we're cutting that in half. So what are we doing with the 5%? So half of that, so 2.5%, is going into the private equity allocation. And then 2 of that is going up into the U.S. equity allocation. And you can see lots of different numbers in there. The other thing that we're doing within U.S. equity is there's large cap, which is your large companies, S&P 500, and you have your mid cap, which is your mid-size, and then you have small cap. So we're just reducing some of the overweight that we had to the smaller and mid cap companies compared to the overall index. So that's like the main change. Then that sets off a little bit of a cascade of changes, which is in the bottom of the page, because that changes our benchmark, what we're trying to beat on there. So we just change the weights and the names of some of the allocations within there. And that's effectively it. Everything else, we did this a few years ago as well. And we do this, with clients as things change. So everything else is, I believe, of the main document is the same. We have some changes in the back on addendum A, just tied to benchmarks change names. Sometimes managers change as well. And we just kind of streamline that as well. So for us in our world, this is about as simplistic of a change as possible, but this is our proposed change for you all. So we'd seek your approval on that.
Councilmember Lewis.
Yep, makes sense. I guess I'm curious, when you look at like the small cap or some of those, we don't have anything invested specifically in one targeted area, like whether it's crypto, whether it's offshore, anything like that, or is it, they're generally blended?
Good question. Yes. So all of these are diversified allocations within there. So we have effectively for this fund, you have a small cap index, which is diversified, mid cap index, which is diversified, and a large cap index, which is diversified. And there's no targeted crypto investments with
Okay,
it.
so we keep, ideally for exposure, everything's blended or diversified.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Solomonov.
I don't have
Is that
anything.
right? Oh, I thought you,
No.
I saw you put your. Since this is a resolution, we will make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 2025-263, a resolution approving an amendment to the investment policy statement of the salaried employee pension plan of the city of Olivet.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call for the vote.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil.
Yes.
The motion is passed.
Great. Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you for your time.
Next item, please.
Item 9, a request for approval to purchase 2 Motorola APX 6000 radios to include batteries, licensing, and programming.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Council. Beth Andruski, Chief of Police. It would be pretty quick for you guys tonight. This is, just like Jennifer said, just a request to purchase 2 Motorola APX 6000 radios, and that does include everything, the extra batteries and programming licensing. If some of you remember from last year, we started phasing in new radios to our department. Our current handheld radios are about 12 years old. They went out of warranty at 10 years. So with the price of them, we've kind of been phasing them in because there's nothing wrong with them, but eventually they are going to need replacements and things like that aren't going to be available. So this was an item that was budgeted for FY26. So again, this is just a request to purchase both of those, and we did not go out for bid on them because we are purchasing them off of a Johnson County, Kansas state contract to assure best pricing for those. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Pretty simple, but I would just ask that for approval for the city manager to enter into an agreement with Motorola for the purchase of 2 APX 6000 handheld radios, not to exceed $10,510.
Are there any questions?
Do you mind explaining what that means when you say pricing through Johnson County, like without going out for a bid?
So state contract, probably Darren or Jennifer can answer this better than I can, but it basically gets you the best price without having to go out for bid. We know that price is the best price possible.
Right. Any kind of state contract has already been competitively bid. And our purchasing policy allows us to use state contracts to kind of speed up the purchasing process.
Got it. Okay, thanks. And assuming there's no overlap with the fire department on these radios, these are completely unique. Right?
So the fire department is going through a changeover with their radios also because back again 12-ish years ago, there was state federal funding to replace all radios in the area. So, but they're looking at that kind of end of life and phasing in new radios. I think that they recently just at council had a request to purchase some new ones as well. Theirs are a little bit more expensive than ours just because of more so tardiness of them, heat, fire, things like that. We don't necessarily need all of those things that they do, but the capabilities as far as the communication are essentially the same.
Okay. I just wonder if there's any economies of scale of buying, the departments coming together and buying equipment at the same time.
They're not the same radios. Yes.
Okay,
They're not made to the same specs because the fire department take them
Yeah.
into the fires with them. So otherwise, yes, we would make them buy them together.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, that kind of goes back to the state contract buying. We're assuring the best price that we could possibly get them for. So
got it. Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Are there any questions on this end? Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for the approval for the city manager to enter into an agreement with Motorola for the purchase of 2 APX 6000 handheld radios not to exceed $10,510.
Second.
Call for the vote.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil.
Yes.
Motion is passed.
Thank you.
Item number 10.
Hearing from citizens, part 2.
Does anyone else to speak? Okay, then we will move on. Item number 11.
And review and acceptance of minutes.
Did anyone see any corrections when they proofread them? Okay, then I'd be happy to entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the council minutes from August 26, 2025, and the work session minutes from
September 2nd.
September 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Call for the vote, please.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Pashon Hellman,
Yes.
Councilmember Solomonov,
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Weil.
Yes,
Motion is passed.
thank you. And item number 12.
Item 12 is city attorney's report.
Nothing to report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
There's a second?
Second?
We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.